Hello everyone.
Right.
So College Dunia is, as you know, College Dunia is one of the leading education web portals, which is catering to a lot of students, parents, and education industry by providing them information regarding colleges, courses, and exam cutoff. So we are also having more than 2 lakh plus student reviews on our platform. So coming to the Thoughtful Leader series, we at College Dunia are trying to enrich the user experience. Our series of thoughtful leaders bring a lot of stalwarts of industries to get insights into the education industry and leadership styles. So, in today's session of Thoughtful Leaders, we have with us Mr. Basi Reddy, sir, from Digiquest Academy. He is an entrepreneur with vision focused on increasing employment opportunities, driving digital innovations in India, in media and entertainment space, and organic farming. He introduced digital filmmaking in India, co-promoted science and an organic farming, advocating sustainable farming and living. He was elected founder, president of Association of Animation, Visual Effects, Comic and Gaming Industry. Digiquest is the first institute which introduced digital technology to India and also promoted digital film technology to the Indian film industry. Digiquest Institute of Creative Arts and Design stands out in this niche owing to its state-of-art production studio, exceptional facilities, and highly experienced faculty. Hello, sir. With your permission, can you start the introduction?
Sure, Ken.
Thank you. Sir, you have held key positions at industry throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that kept you connected with animation industry and Digiquest Academy?
No, I mean, if you say about different industries, yes, I was in the CAD, GIS, photogrammetry, and so on and so forth, and CD-ROMs, DVD jukeboxes, blah, blah, blah. When I introduced the sound cards and all that stuff in the early 90s. Having said that, but then also we had the ambition of getting into the animation side because we were teamed with a Japanese company, and Japanese animation is very, very strong over there, even though it is a 2D. But it is, it's highly watched by the children and all that stuff. So it's more popular there than in India, if you ask me. Even adults also watch that. So that's the reason. Other animation, and says, well, then first thing it hit me is, we did so many temples, we did so many wonderful things all over the world. Appreciate, what we did with the mundane chisel and hammer. What is that we cannot do with the computers now? So that's what turned me on to look into these opportunities. And as I evolved into this, then I saw a lot more opportunities in this. And maybe in the further questions and all the stuff, I can pinpoint on where are the areas where this is just not animation anymore. It's graphics and technology is put together. That's all it is.
Yes. So, being chairman of Digiquest Academy, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Well, I personally think that all my students, I would like them to come out to be an entrepreneur type of an attitude. I want them to be self-sufficient by the time they come into the third year. I want my staff to grow, so that we can even charge higher tuition fees because of the quality of the training we give. And their employment opportunities with better companies, how we will be able to guide them properly. Because earn while you learn, I'm a firm believer in that. And there is no other field today is as lucrative as it is for my first and second year students are working now. Because they're naturally talented, they could draw certain things, background for the movie industry, it's a simple art. The guy who can do beautiful art, simple art, he can do it. And they're working for less money and the production costs are reducing. And the guy is making some money. So I want the kids to be not burdened on their parents anymore. And I want this education to be available to the poorest in the village level where they can learn. They can learn from their own place as the 5G rolls in and as the fiber optics rolls in. They can stay at home and make money,
Yes. Coming to the next question. Being president of Digiquest Academy, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for marketing and administration of your academy?
In marketing and administration, I have a separate body and like just a unit by itself, almost mostly led by our general manager. And he looks at it, marketing strategies and all the stuff. He discusses with me. Sometimes I give him a little bit input. Sometimes they shoot my videos and use it for marketing. Those things do happen, but they pretty much are almost like autonomous body. They function by themselves.
Okay. So how does the curriculum of Digiquest Academy ensure the best practice in the industry?
We are affiliated with the JNFA University, and we have board of studies over there. We are people represented by the industry. Top-notch industry representatives are also there as one of the members. And university staff is there. Other university staff is there. So we sit down and discuss about the subject, the curriculum and all this stuff. So because of my intervention this time, there was an exposure in the university curriculum because we follow the same animation curriculum, university. And so even I forced the university to put even 3D printing. There was no mention anywhere in the 3D printing. There's just they should be given an opportunity to look at the 3D printing. Understand at least there is such a thing there. And 3D printing machines are not that expensive for the university to show in a lab environment.
Yes.
So we are very well guided by good, learned people to take in the right direction. Because it's the same course for all other colleges who has the same subject.
Okay. So coming to our next question, what do you think should be the Digiquest Academy's top priority over the next 10 years?
My top priorities is I want our students to be employed at the highest pay if they seek an employment, or else my students to start smaller companies because I foresee billions, with a B, capital B, billions of hours of work needs to be converted into a graphical, pictorial, educational environment to be relayed upon online or on screen or whatever it is in the classrooms, offline classrooms, online classrooms, whatever you may call it. They're going to use this content. They will be able to show a better, or it's a pictorial classroom environment. So there's huge opportunities, and one kid can take only geography, and then make the geography, make it as a 3D looking, a real 3D looking thing, in the past we studied geography, map, paper pe dal diye, basically. They can really now show with your drone images and whatnot, you can make that.
Sir, when you first founded Digiquest Academy, what was your vision for the academy? Has it evolved over the time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Well, I wish I could have implemented as well as I originally envisioned. But of course, the people who got trained with me are literally doing a good job working with another organization, and they made more investments, and they have a more family background in the industry. So he got trained with me 10 years. He worked, and he's gone there. Now he's one of the best facility post-production. They have a huge acreage of land and so on and so forth. So comfortable location for customers and high-end movie stars also to go. So those are the things. That's what I lack, and we'll fix that up. We're looking at a different thing. We will introduce some other better technologies into our college, and we'll teach our students and the virtual productions and all this stuff. Future is going to be virtual productions. There's a lot of cost savings there. So we're looking into that. Motion capture, virtual productions as well.
Great to hear, sir. What do you see as the Digiquest Academy's greatest strengths apart from other institutions?
What I can say is probably our vision is more committed towards the students, and probably my hunger towards getting our students involved in live projects by second year onwards and so on and so forth. is something unique because we we eventually would like to how do I say this our students to become also an entrepreneur. I mean, our industry is so easily payable based on per frame, type of a thing, output wise. So once he gives the output, we pay him according to this thing. He can work anytime he wants. I have no issues where they have to sit and work at, as long as they assure me that they will not pirate the content what they're working with. Everything else is no issues at all. That's my vision.
Okay. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see, both for the Digiquest Academy and higher education in India in general?
You see, what I think is not just Digiquest, but whoever is into the fine arts are facing some difficulties today with the parents, as far as I'm concerned. The parents do not consider this as how do I say, a reputable or a honorable field to work in, because certain things do happen. I mean, they think it's the media industry, film and this thing, but it is more than film. It's everywhere. I mean, you cannot name an industry where the graphical industry is not part of it in some fashion or other.
Yes.
I mean, there is no industry, fashion industry, aeronautical, everything there is pictorial is required to present it. So they think it's in all these drugs cases or all this some Basi Reddy cases and all. They shy away from this industry, but they don't. They are trying not to get out of the core engineering. So that's why I even registered this particular field. People are so crazy about engineering. I call this creative engineering. I trademarked the name, creative engineering. So I call it as a creative engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. So it's a creative engineering.
So with competition so high in the outer world today, how do you guide your students to survive in such a competitive scenario, especially coming to animation designing and it?
No, in design they may be highly competitive, but animation side there is a literally shortage of it. So there is not that much of a competition there. So that's another fortunate thing in our field is there is less of a competition because there are less of a colleges are there. Actually, there are less of a trainers. Good trainers are there. So that's why we use it. I also work with Media Entertainment Skill Council and work with them and all the stuff. And we work on try to work on some programs where the top of the top in the nation will come and give Vidyadhan. So it's free. The guy doesn't charge. So he will have a workshop. So the MESC does that. This COVID had messed up a little bit and all that stuff, but still online it is being done over there. And there is literally not that much of a competition right now. I mean, unless you go into the top of the top line of work, where you have a texturing requirement, something like life of pi, where millions of hairs have to be done and all that stuff. When you get to that level of it, you need the specialized people in that field. And they even charge $250,000 to $1 million, up to $1 million a year salary. Some of these texturing guys who does a good job in the Hollywood movies. So our kids are capable of it. I mean, part of the life of pi was done here in India itself.
So, how do you encourage people? How do you encourage people to choose creative courses apart from regular engineering and doctor courses?
That's a very valid question, but there is nothing you can do, to encourage. This is a field where the individual should feel that he can contribute, that he can, come his dream come true or vision come true, or those are the people who will succeed in this field. Otherwise, those people will be just working at the roto level. Roto level in the sense when you have a fighter going on, there are ropes there. You have to take the ropes off and then match the background color. It's a simple job, those are the things. Probably in a few days it will be automated also through softwares. So unless your heart is there that you want to take this particular field, you'll be a mundane worker. That's all. 50, 60, 70,000 rupees.
Uh, Sir, what would you like people to know about your academy that may not know in general?
Well, not too many people know that we exist. Or to be honest with you, we're not that we have nationwide branding. Whatever we do, it is only on Google and YouTube. We don't have big deep pockets to advertise in big magazines or big how do you say it, entertainment channels and stuff like that, because it costs a lot of money. Otherwise, it's a word of mouth. Quite a few students are sending their friends and relatives. That's happening. And we are also looking at getting more into a short term, because a lot of engineers, because of this parents' pressure, they went and did CES or whatever it is, but they are not a good programmers. They can't program, but they are artistically really talented, or they have a programming skills, but they're more into the gaming side. So why don't they use the programming skills into the game programming side? So those are the type of courses we would like to, a game will be developed by a bunch of students. It's just a bunch of people put together. One person can't do it. There are several aspects of it in the gaming industry. So he could be one of the main pillars using the programming itself into the gaming segment. And the education also will become gamified, as we move forward and forward. They'll make interesting games out of solving problems, made mathematics, made physics, made chemistry. They'll make games out of it. So,
Sir, how do you tend to establish a healthy relationship in an environment in your academy, being from students to teachers or teachers to faculty?
our people are fairly, how do I say that? Fairly soft. I think, in my opinion, they have been softer than my liking. They take it easy with the students, and believe me, I was also a college student time. A tough teacher was always bad class to go to. That damn shit, we have to go to that, type of thing. So we're all part of it. We have seen it.
Yes.
So they try to be a little nicer and all this stuff. Especially if anything happens, they come to general manager. And general manager is very smooth, soothing things out with those guys. So, of course, we do make mistakes. We do have pitfalls, and we continually try to improve upon them based on hearing what they want to say. But we are open. Our doors are open to the students. That's another thing.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time here.
Thank you.
I think the answers you have given will help students to choose creative arts and courses apart from the regular.
You mean creative engineering course?
Creative engineering course, as you said, yes.
Okay.
As you invented the word, apart from the regular engineering and courses, other degree courses.
All I can sum it up is there is no field is there without using the creative requirements today. And there is a huge opportunity for employment. As I said, my third year students got full-time jobs because of the corona. We had to shut down. So when we shut down, afterwards the online classes came. During the shutdown, they got full-time online jobs doing work from home.
Yes.
They created certain things and gave it to the client, and the client used it. They got paid. Now they're hesitant to come back to the college. Some of them said, I'm making decent money. 35,000, 40,000 rupees is making you think it's decent. But, different strokes for different folks. But I would like to see him making 5 to 6 lakhs, improve upon, get better techniques, better skills. But I also encourage people to work in the field, because this is some kind of an education which doesn't require classroom teachings. Classroom explanation, how to use the tools and all this stuff. But it has It's the student who has to work at it to excel in this particular field.
So, the thoughts are very insightful for the students, I think.
Thank you.
So choosing the courses will be simpler from now. And thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.